Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right. So, first of all, I want to say good morning to everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. My spirit is good. I feel great. Um, just got through watching some fantastic content, and it's one of those situations where I didn't expect to feel as good after watching the content because, and of course, you guys know it's always a because to everything. I've been watching Undisputed this morning, and they were talking about various topics, and one of the topics is Kyrie Irving. And of course, this is a topic that we talk about a lot. Kyrie's name gets mentioned on this channel probably more than anyone's these days because, of course, we're trying to get him to the Lakers. Hopefully, that's something that can happen in the future. But that's not necessarily where the angle is today. Everyone's talking about what he posted on his IG story. A dude by the name of Alex Jones, who's going through some legal issues right now in regards to some things that he said about the victims of Sandy Hook, which was a elementary school that suffered a horrible mass shooting many years ago. And essentially, he said that the people involved were paid actors. It rubbed some people in a very wrong way, and it was an inaccurate statement, to my knowledge, of course. And it's one of those situations where it hurt a lot of people when he said it. I don't know of Alex Jones for any other reason, to be honest with you. I've only heard of him for that. So whatever his politics are, whatever his point of view is, I don't know. But what I can say is, in this walk of life that I've been in, if you guys have been following me as closely as you may, then you know that this aligns with something that we talked about a little recently. But I've had people in my life who come from some dark walks of life who have kind of helped me in life. People who've been in the streets who've kind of steered me away from the streets. People who've been in some places that they would not want to tell you about. They told me to stay away from those places. That type of thing. It's kept my moral compass intact, along with my mother and several others who, of course, raised me, my village. And one of the things that I've learned in that is that sometimes those people can be right, even though you don't want to follow the path that they've taken, and you don't want to spend too much time next to them, because whatever's coming for them may be coming for you if you spend too much time next to those type of people. But in the time that you have with those people, if they give you some wisdom from their walk of life, you take it for what it's worth, and you hold it close. So that's what I try to do. Just because a person is disagreeable doesn't mean that they can't say something that I may agree with. That's basically what I'm saying. Alex Jones is somebody that may be disagreeable with me, but he may be able to open his mouth and say something that I agree with, as may you. So that's one of those situations where I just reserve the right to discern who and what I will listen to, and from whom and what I will listen to, etc., etc. It's not a one size fits all. It's not a declaration of I'll listen to anything or never listen to no one. It's just a simple, I'll play it by ear and judge what I want to hear, just like you will, I'd imagine. But in this case, I listened to what everyone was talking about in regards to Alex Jones, and Kyrie's posting it, and they're essentially saying that Kyrie is wrong for posting it because of the guy's reputation or what have you. And everybody's entitled to that side of their opinion or what have you. I don't have a retort to that at all. However, what ends up happening is they are able to then tell you, because he posted this thing by this person, that nothing else should be listened to from him, that they can continue the narrative that he's a wacky guy, crazy guy that doesn't, whatever it is that they're trying to paint. They're trying to essentially say, this is yet another reason why Kyrie Irving should not be given an opportunity at max dollars or 4-year deal or public support or whatever it is that it seems they're trying to keep him from having. Okay? And so in my mind, I've been watching them do this for a while with Kyrie, and I've kind of watched him help them, to be honest with you. He's giving them a little ammunition, but I don't think that it's not without a cause. Meaning, he's doing this, but he's doing it because he's doing it true to himself. What is it that he's doing? Well, he's posting things that speak truth to power, that shine light on possibilities of conspiracies that speak of atrocities done by white supremacy, a lot of stuff that people would just rather not talk about, things that if are discussed in the wrong way can cause trouble, cause drama, cause fights, cause people to overreact, underperform, all different types of stuff that I think the grand, I don't know how to say this, but those who kind of are governing us don't want us to really be attacking these various different subjects all at once, or even at all in some cases. It's a structured thing for these folks, man. And I know it. It's like they just don't want us to know too much. They don't want us to have certain types of confidence. They don't want us to be asking certain types of questions, because once certain things is understood, then people have to face one another with those truths. And they've effectively been able to narrate us away from those truths and into a space of peace in this country, despite all of the truths of our atrocities and people stealing people's land and people doing all kinds of horrible things to other human beings and then dying out and leaving their kids to try to settle the score. This is the problem. Because once we start realizing who we are and we start realizing what has happened to us, then we start hating one another subsequently, because that's what comes from the energy that the ancestors put on us, to be completely honest with you. Kyrie Irving is speaking that truth to light. And he's doing it with no regard to that part of it. And they're scared. The powers that be are scared because they don't want someone with that amount of voice, that type of platform, to speak that type of truth. They don't want it. The spotlight that Kyrie Irving has is reserved for the narratives that keep us in order. That's why you only see the machine move in certain ways. They want to promote certain types of thinking, certain rhythmic patterns, certain types of suggestive ways of considering your morals. They want you to put certain things first, even though it may not align with what makes sense to you. It's because of the history and the fact that we haven't dealt with our problems that is so necessary that they heard us, they feel, I believe. You know what I mean? It's not like our country was built on harmony. If it were, it would be no need to hide truths from people. It really wouldn't. Because it would be a truth that we've all been here together. We've traded, we loved, and we over time made it. That's the story we want to believe. That's not what we did to make this happen. That's not what we're doing to keep it going. So Kyrie Irving is speaking truth to power. The narratives don't necessarily work on us anymore because of these devices in our hands that allow us to delve into various truths and dig into our own little rabbit holes of various things that we're interested in and find things that they don't want us to talk about aloud. And while somebody like myself may be able to talk about the things Kyrie Irving is talking about without any necessarily repercussions, it's because I'm not holding a microphone that can reach millions of people. See what I'm saying? It's okay for me to talk about white supremacy, this or that, or, you know, people, you know, of black faith or brown faith believing in themselves and understanding their history and not believing that they're on a lower level just because that's the way things are structured in this country, for them to look that we had a history before this and we can have a history after this. That's what Kyrie Irving was putting into that IG story for all of us to see. I walked away feeling better, as I told you. I turned on the camera because I felt a lot better about being a black man after watching his thread. Literally. I felt better about having my native roots after watching his thread, because he was speaking truth to power. He was speaking about black intellect. He mentioned that he put something on there about Michael Jackson, one of my favorite people in the world. Even though what he was accused of I could never get with, I never actually believed he did those things, but never knew the man, so couldn't say nothing other than I hope he didn't do those things. But what I can say is, what I know for a fact is, what was posted was really, really interesting in a sense that it reminded me of the various different levels of consciousness that great artist had, that a lot of us didn't get a chance to know about, but those behind the scenes and those of his who were his enemies definitely knew about. There was a consciousness about that man, which is why he was attacked in the way that he was. He was able to do things that regular people in America, when I say regular people, people without connections in various places, couldn't do. He was making deals with people and things of that nature. We've already talked about this on this camera. And the way that Michael Jackson ultimately was able to move in the 80s in a time where America didn't have a lot of friends. He was friendly with people as an American. And that type of stuff is the stuff that Kyrie was posting. Things that would otherwise enrich the soul. Talking about the ancestors and how they were talking, preaching about holistic ways of treating us with real tangible growing things that you can find on the earth, rather than going through pharmaceuticals and various different companies that really want to give us whatever it is they're giving us and make us pay triple and quadruple for it. How would our ancestors think of these things? What would Dr. Sebi say about some of the foods that we're eating and the way that we live right now? These are the type of things that he was posting. It's like, it's food for the soul. If you're someone who is open-minded enough or can relate to these subjects, for which I can. As a black person, I can relate to a lot of that. I think if you're a white person, you got to be very open-minded to listen to a lot of that stuff and not feel tense, honestly. He was saying certain things about, when they want to burn you in their sun, just remember, when they want to burn you in their hell, just remember that your people are from the sun. Like, these are the type of things that speak power to my skin and my people. So, of course, it's going to enrich me, right? He was talking about indigenous people and why they want to get their land back, and how the industrial system of things has ultimately destroyed the land. And that's why indigenous people ultimately want their land back. It isn't just for the get back. It's because they're afraid we're killing the earth and the way that we're doing things. Like, it's a lot of stuff he was preaching that if we could just get a whiff of all of this in our regular households, could literally help us understand one another, help us be our best, especially some of us who are from these marginalized groups, right? Help us feel better about ourselves. So that's what I took from what I saw. You understand what I'm saying? And as far as the Alex Jones thing, that was like one of 30 threads. And it wasn't the one that even stuck out. Wasn't even the one that stuck out. In that situation, it was just a small thread of him essentially saying that secret societies exist, that a lot of different things have happened ultimately that have been covered up, essentially, is what he was saying, that they're trying to make this centralized government remove currency from being, a worldwide currency. It's like a lot of stuff that we're kind of seeing. Essentially, what Kyrie was posting was that Alex Jones was predicting a lot of things that we're seeing now. Some of the germs that are out there, warfare, vaccine stuff, all these different various things that are taking place now. Kyrie was essentially saying that Alex Jones kind of saw a lot of this coming. So, hey, I mean, what can you say? Even somebody who's got it wrong sometimes can have it right. I've been wrong a million times. I think I got it right every once in a while. So, I don't know. You could take a piece of something that I said when I was completely wrong, attach it to my name, and that's all you know. That's fine if you want to do that. It sucks for me, but I mean, that's what's happened to so many people on this earth, and I think that's what's happened to Kai. But I think he plays into it to a degree. I think he does. He knows the role that he's in at this point. He knows people expect him to post things that are to the left, and so I think that he continues to do that comfortably because of it. I think it's one of those situations where it's like he set the tone as somebody who's going to post free thinking stuff. Maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not, but he's going for it. And if you're rolling, you're rolling. It's one of those type of things, and it's like, I'm rolling. Everything I saw in there felt like food for the soul, honestly. I didn't understand about decolonization. I have to read up on that. I'm just not like, some of the stuff was just over my head. Just not a school guy. I didn't do a whole lot in the books, to be honest with you. But that's the point. That's the point. I didn't know nothing about it. So when I watched his thread, he introduced something to me that now I can look up and find myself knowledgeable about because of it. So if Alex Jones needed to be posted so that I could get that message, thanks Kyrie, job done. I got the energy from it. I learned some things. Heck, I didn't even think of my feet as, what was it that I saw? He's like, feet are like plugs, and the earth is like the socket, and like you need to feel sunlight. It's like, these are things that help the body and mind, and things that help point you in the right direction to making yourself more healthy in a time where people are again, eating processed foods and trying to find ways of being more healthy. He's posting things that allow us to find a way to be more healthy without spending a whole lot of money. That's what it is. It's just information and game for people like myself who may not have $1 million to pour into our bodies, who may not have the ability to go on vacation and get the best sunlight. These are things that you can do, and these are doors you can open from your space. And so that's what I appreciate about Kyrie. He understands that information is wealth. And when you share that with people, you're truly helping people. It was something else that was said in there that stuck with me. It was along the lines of something that I said very recently. I don't know, I'm paraphrasing, and the context of it is far from me, but I took the root of it, which was basically do more than you have to. We live in a world where it's a give and take society. We live in a world where people are transactional in nature with their relationships. I do for you, you do for me. I just said it a few days ago in one of my therapy sessions. I found that the things that provide the most fruit in regards to obtaining loyalty from people and making it so that people want to see you do well is doing things that don't necessarily have to be done. Removing that leverage, so to speak, within your relationships. Removing that I need to get balance in the relationship, because friendship and love is not balanced at all. It's an abundance of giving if done correctly. So trying to make it make sense. Let me see if it weighs, you know what I'm saying? It's like when somebody asks you for some of your food and you try to balance it out, see exactly how much you're giving them. It's like, keep it, bro. I don't want all that. When you give and you're giving, if they're about what it is that they're supposed to be about, they'll be more than likely willing to give back to you, even if it's not their natural inclination to do so. By way of an example, you have shown them how to garner the respect that they have for you. Once they see that you're giving, I want to feel that way too. Maybe I'll be more willing to give or give somebody a break or whatever it is they can do within their level of understanding. But that's what it spoke to me when he posted that particular part. So you see the Alex Jones thing? Man, that was the last thing. I took so many different seeds from so many different things that he posted in that entire IG story thread. And you want to talk about that Alex Jones thing? Get out of here, man. Y'all better go over there and watch everything that he's put and tell me that you took the Alex Jones things from what you see. In the 20 minutes that I sat there eating breakfast, watching that thread, I think Alex Jones was the least important thing that I saw. Literally. So I just wanted to say that, man. I literally want to say that, yo. Because you can literally, and I say the word literally a lot, but you can see how they will take the bait. Let's just call it like we see it. The media took the bait. He put the bait out there and they took it. Hook, line, and sinker. People like myself listen to what they have to say, knowing they didn't watch the entire thread. We watched the entire thread, and then once again exposes them for the manipulating, narrating. I don't even know the word, but they're messing with people in the way that they do. And we can see you. We can see you. So Kai, keep doing what you're doing, man. You fed the boy's soul. I feel better for watching what I saw this morning. I'm a better human being for watching that entire thread. I'm not exaggerating it, and it ain't got nothing to do with the narrative that they're talking about. Hell, it ain't even got nothing to do with my opinion about Alex Jones. I'm just happy that I saw that. Literally. That's it. BDF 44. Thank you all for watching.